All right. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I'm Steve Henson with Natural State Sports, and we have got a special live show for you guys today. Joining me to discuss next week's 8th annual Robinson Invitational is Robinson head baseball coach Isaac Delaney, as well as the baseball guru himself, Kevin Bohannon. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Doing good, man.
Yeah, doing great. Baseball season, finally.
Yes. Yeah. I had to go find my green. Sorry I was late. I see you guys
No,
did
you're
not
good.
get the memo. So
Yeah.
I'll send my kids to pinch you later. So,
Well, I had green on, but here at Robinson we're black and gold. So
Yeah, you can't wear
you
green.
see, I had to go out to get the right hat off the dash of the car. So,
Yeah.
Bobby Swafford was asking me last week how many hats I
looks
wear.
good
I
on
said,
you,
well,
man.
I know it, right? I appreciate you getting it.
I got my leprechaun socks. It says, "Have you seen him?" So we're good there.
There you go. Well, guys, I appreciate you joining us. Coach Delaney, I appreciate you. I want to put this together and really talk on this the 8th annual Robinson Invitational. I'm excited to be out there. I know we got to spend some time out there last year. Really impressive event. Just a great time, a great opportunity to really showcase some really, really good talent, not just here in Arkansas, but around the region as well. So, man, I appreciate you. And talk about a little bit as we get into this. I want to talk just some about this showcase and kind of what's led to it and how it's grown over the last 7 years.
Yeah, so we started back in 2017. At that point, we just basically started a little 8-team tournament. The first tournament ever was the game was Parkview versus PA's JV team. I think the very first year we had 2 JV teams in the tournament. Started off just very small, very local. Really started off as just a way to, try and stay home. We used to travel and go all over the place, and I started having little boys and decided I would rather stay home over spring break and enjoy that time with them. And so we put together our own little tournament and kind of just got the idea to see if we could grow it, expand it out, draw in some more good teams. And so we eventually in 2019, we expanded to a 16-team tournament. And then we were going to expand to 24 teams in 2020 when COVID hit us. So we bounced back in 2021 and we went to 27, and then we went to 32. And then last year we went to 46. And this year we have 77. And we're looking to hit our cap next year and really try to stretch it out to 100 teams. And I think that's going to be the max. I don't think we're going to try to grow past 100. It's starting to get a little difficult to organize and manage, but we're having a lot of fun with it, and we're really excited about the teams that are going to come in and join us and the people that they're bringing to play on the field. So that's just kind of a quick rundown of where we're at and kind of what we're looking to do.
Well, I know that obviously, last year you had some big names from across the landscape of high school baseball. It was an impressive event. This year, it's 78 teams. You said
77.
77, yeah. So 77 teams, 8 locations. Talk about the partnership with the other 7 locations outside of Robinson, and how we led to getting to each of those locations as well.
Well, and the biggest key for us being able to grow is the relationships that we have with the surrounding schools. We started off when we first tried to expand it. We partnered up with Bryant, and Coach Queck was real gracious to jump in and host with us and allow us to expand. And then we moved into, PA's hosted with us, Christians hosted with us, and then we pulled Benton in, and then it became one of those deals where I think the other coaches kind of saw that it was a pretty cool event too, that it was nice to stay home, that it was nice to play good baseball here in Central Arkansas. And so we were able to start pulling in more than just one at a time. And so, last year we ran it across 4 sites with 46 teams, but having 77 teams, we really tried to dip in and really, ask a lot of favors of our friends in the local area. And we pulled in 8 different sites this year. And, it's just an awesome deal because there's great facilities here. Without the facilities, we're not able to do what we're doing. We're going to run this on 8 different sites, and 7 of them are turf. And, we've got some other turf fields that we're looking to pull in the future between Maumelle and potentially Lakeside and Cabot. And, we've got some other fields that are going to get turfed. And so, that's why we're looking to expand, because we have the facilities here in Central Arkansas to do it. We're bringing teams in from out of state. We're going to play them on 3 different locations in 3 different days, and they're not going to travel more than 10 to 12 miles at any particular moment. And so, having the friendships and having the facilities is what's really made this, the opportunity to grow. And like I said, we're really excited about where it is, and we're hoping to really kind of hit our mark next year of 100 teams and pulling in probably another 4 host sites.
So I guess the story is that for spring break, you just enjoy baseball. That's it, because it's spring break week, and we'll be at the ball field from 9 a.m. till probably midnight every night, pretty much, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, with just a lot of great action going on out there. And again, you're going to get to see a lot of really big time guys. I know last year you got a couple guys that have made the transition even up to the major league level right now. So in the minor leagues, they got drafted. So a lot of talent going to be there, a lot of fun. And we'll get into it. We want to use this time to kind of preview some stuff. And, obviously, Coach, we want you here as you organized it. You put it all together, and you can tell us all that. And we got the baseball guru, Kevin Bohannon, with us as well. And he can kind of highlight some of these guys as well for us. So we'll get into it. I know everybody's time's kind of short, but let's just go location by location. And we'll start there. Let's start at Diamond City Park and talk about any of the games going on there, or the individual teams and players that'll be there.
Yeah. So we did something new this year. We have so many teams coming. And last year we ended up, some of our teams that were traveling really far away, they're bringing 30, 40 kids. And, if you only play varsity games, you end up, you play about a total of 12 kids, and then you have about 20 something kids that basically just come along for the ride. And so last year we had a few of those teams that, we just wanted to see, could we get some JV games just to let some of those kids play, instead of just, driving for 6 hours and then sitting on the bench and sitting in a hotel room and going home. And so we threw some JV games together off-site last year, and this year we kind of came in with the idea, let's offer a JV Jamboree for those teams that want to, just a chance to kind of get their younger guys some action and some playing time, and let them kind of participate in this event too. And so basically we are going to use Diamond City Park as our JV Jamboree site. We're gonna throw it out there. It's gonna go off on Friday and Saturday. So we won't have any games going out there on Thursday, but we will have a full slot of games, JV games out there on Friday and Saturday. And a lot of our bigger schools are participating in it. I know Bryant and Conway are going to play each other. I know Conway and Catholic's JV teams are going to play each other. We'll have Little Rock Christian and Enid will play each other in JV. White Station's going to play some JV games. And so, we're real excited. Huntsville, Searcy, Jacksonville, Gentry. There's going to be a lot of different teams that kind of move in and out from there. But that site is predominantly going to be used for the JV Jamboree to, get these younger guys some chances to play and have some fun on spring break as well.
And I think the big thing with this, and just to kind of backtrack a little bit, this tournament fills a need that goes back to the 90s, when it was the Metro Invitational that just had 8 teams from Pulaski County, that the 2 tournaments I played in. Then there was the Central Arkansas Invitational that was hosted at Lamar Porter. And what Coach Delaney has done was, it's funny because he says that, he's getting some favors, but these coaches all have a need for spring break. So with Bryant in the past, I know when back in 2022, they wanted just to play out-of-state teams or teams that they won't see so they could get better. So they played Houston High School out of Tennessee, who was really good at that time. So, they're playing Enid this year at Robinson, I think, on Saturday. And Enid, the Plainsmen Class 6A school in Oklahoma. It doesn't get any higher than that. They were, I think, 27-15 last year, played 42 games. So, getting to play these types of teams early in the season is what a lot of these coaches really need without having to go down to the Gulf Coast. Because even if you go to Memphis to play in that tournament over there, and a good friend of mine puts that on, there's still teams from Arkansas that you may end up playing. So why travel 2 hours, 10 hours to play teams from your own state when you can do it in Central Arkansas at such great fields? And, to have it, the whole program. So include your JV guys on these trips, because these JV guys, especially in these larger programs, they need to see what it's like to play on a big stage. And I think it just facilitates the development of baseball in Arkansas a little bit better. And it's great that we're having a JV Jamboree, because a lot of the times during the season, baseball, and this is what drives me nuts, baseball teams only have 2 paid coaches usually. And so these guys can get developed even more is what's really big. And to have that at Maumelle this year is really huge.
Yeah, and I think it was just a couple years ago we had 4 teams from Arkansas go down to Gulf Shores, and they all met up together in the semifinals, and then played each other again in the finals. And you pay thousands of dollars to go 10 hours away from home and end up playing teams an hour away from you in your own state. And so now Conway's going to come down and they're going to play 3 out-of-state teams. They're going to drive 30 minutes to the ballpark to play 3 out-of-state teams, and they're just going to turn around and go home.
Yeah, they've been going to Dallas in previous years and playing in the 5-tool class invitational down there in Texas, which is a great tournament in the Metroplex. But now they get to have those teams come to Arkansas, which is awesome.
Yeah, you guys make a great point. When you look across the landscape of high school sports in Arkansas, and the prep schools that are starting to suck up some of these kids around, and just get an opportunity to go against some of the top talent, whether regionally in the state or across the U.S. is a great opportunity, a great thing you've done, Coach, to really bring all these guys together, and then one easy place for folks to come and not just see it, but you've got, I'm sure you'll have folks from different colleges and across out there as well.
Yes, sir. And with some of the development, as Cabo can tell you here shortly, some of the development of our in-state talent, we're going to have some pro scouts in the ballpark. Last year we got to see firsthand there were 24 scouts sitting here, to watch Slade Codwell, and we got to watch them go off against a very big time team in Ray-Pec out of Kansas City, and 24 pro scouts sitting here evaluating a potential first round draft pick. And I think you're going to see something similar to it this year. There's been some names that have started popping up on pro scout radars, and not giving any spoilers away, but Jackson Estes is at the top of that list. And I think you're going to see some pro scouts start sniffing around these ballparks during the spring break tournament, really trying to evaluate some of these kids. There's going to be a big left-handed pitcher coming down from Staley, Missouri. Talking with Coach Josenberger last night, the Earlback kid, he's committed to Iowa. But I mean, you're talking a 6'3" left-handed pitcher that's going to work in the low 9s. And, he's going to have a shot if he does well this year to potentially be one of those draft picks out of high school. And so, having some people like that is really going to draw a lot of attention. I know I've been talking with a lot of colleges, and, the time of the year it is, and spring break, a lot of people travel and there's dead periods and things like that. But you're going to see some colleges poking around and asking a lot of questions. And that's the ultimate goal of what we're doing is we want to put as good a talent as we can all in one location at one time, because it just makes it more enticing for scouts to come and to see players. And, it's like I've said many times, people like Jackson Estes and the Earlback kid and, Slade Codwell last year, everybody knows those kids. what's beautiful about this tournament is when you get those kids into these ballparks, all these scouts see other talent that they may not know about at this time, talent that has probably been overlooked because they play on teams or against opponents that have, the big names. And now you get a chance to be seen. And that's what's really cool to me is we're going to have over 80 college commits in this tournament. But that's just the commits. That's not the junior classes and the sophomore classes that have, college level talent that just hasn't been seen yet. And so that's what we're most excited about, is to have the amount of talent, but to also have the talented kids that are uncommitted or on the borderlines right now of receiving offers. And we're going to give them a chance to perform on a big stage in front of a lot of people.
So let's talk. Obviously, we talked about the Diamond Center or the Diamond City Fields. We'll talk about each of the different locations a little bit as we go through this. But the Maumelle Charter, Episcopal, Benton, PA, UALR, Gary Hogan Field, Little Rock Christian, and of course at Robinson as well. Talk about as far as in each of those groups, and Cabo, you may be able to touch on this some as well, but each of those areas, is there some of the teams, some of the players are going to be at each of those places, and where people may want to show up that are just coming out? Obviously, there's going to be a lot of great baseball across each one, but where guys want to be if they want to see some of those top players we've been talking about, or that the scouts maybe they're looking at as well.
Absolutely. And this is where, Coach Delaney and the people that helped put this on, I've been a part of it since 2021 in one capacity or the other. So it's been great to see this thing grow. But, right away on Thursday, and Robinson has played North Little Rock in this event, I know, at least 4 times. So I know Estes pitched against them last year. I don't know with the way their conference schedule is set up this year. They have 9 teams in their conference. So they have 8 weeks that they're playing home and home. So Coach Dillon is going to make sure at least get his guys some work that week while they're on spring break and not playing any conference games. But that's going to be a really good matchup right there. Will Jones has done really good for North Little Rock as an underclassman. Of course, Logan Eichler's a 2026 guy. Bowman Stein has already hit a few home runs this year for the Senators. So really looking forward to that. Caden Mealer from Morrilton, the Devil Dogs, they're going to be in the same conference as Robinson this year. And Mealer's already committed to UCA in that 26 class. They play Lake Hamilton. Lake Hamilton beat Sheridan last week 10-0 in 5A South play that really kind of turned some eyes. Coach Wiggins' team made the semifinals last year, had a historic run. People thought they might be a little bit down this year, but when you can beat Sheridan 10-0, that does make a statement. And then, of course, you got Valley View and Greenwood. Those 2 programs always turn out a ton of talent. Multiple college commits on both teams. Valley View, of course, won the state championship last year, ended up ranked in the nation in a few different polls. So a lot to look forward to. And then you got the out-of-state teams, Enid Plainsman out of Enid, Oklahoma. Like I said, they play in Class 6A. They're going to be one of the top teams in that classification. Once again, they play Staley out of Kansas City, Missouri. Staley and Ray Peck, that's Ray Moore Peculiar. They're in the same classification, kind of the same district, if you were kind of looking at it. They played late in the state tournament last year. So Conway getting to play Enid, that's one of the big games I'm looking for on that first day. Go over to Benton. Of course, Benton's hosting that one. Benton and Russellville is a good matchup. Those are 2 teams that are expected to get to the state playoffs this year from their respective conferences. Russellville has Russ Martin going to Little Rock, Cade Palmer going to Little Rock. Then they got Tristan Newberry in the 26th class that is committed to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Lakeside Rams, they're expected to challenge for a 5A South title this year. Greenbrier's always been really good. Then you got now, Coach, tell me if I'm mispronouncing this wrong, but Olentangy Orange out of Ohio, they're coming down. This is
yes,
the first
sir.
time. Yeah, they've been to the event. They made it to the Sweet 16 last year in their state tournament. They do their state a little different. They have district, regional, and state all together, and they run over the course of about 4 or 5 weeks. But they went 22-8 last year. They lost out to a team that was Olentangy Berlin. So there's 4 different Olentangy high schools, excuse me, in Ohio right there. So they lost to one of their brethren schools. Then you got some lower classifications, Harrisburg, Nemo Vista, Cross County, Gosnell, Ashdown that are playing at Maumelle Charter. I really like the way those guys look. Going over to Little Rock Christian, CAC in Jacksonville, Southside, Whitehall. Little Rock Christian, of course, is playing Van Buren. Weston Wilcox from Van Buren is a college prospect for sure. Then Bentonville West. Ray Peck plays Bentonville West in that event. Then you got Southside and White Station out of Memphis. That'll be playing on Friday. Going up to Episcopal. Baptist Prep's off to an undefeated start this year. Then Southside B Branch, looking forward to watching them a couple of times this year. Gentry Pioneers beat Lone Oak last week 12-1. Talked to Coach Anthony Nail. He's really excited about his team. They're really kind of figuring out who they are right now. So one of the younger teams in the state that hasn't had a lot of tradition in their program is getting to play in this event, which is really good. Then Woodlawn taking on Star City. I know those kids probably grew up playing ball with each other, against each other, since they're not too far apart. So that's another game we're looking forward to out there. PA, you got Malvern and Pulaski Academy, Wynn and White Station. Crossett's playing Lone Oak. That's a kind of intriguing matchup. Crossett returns 3 starters that have started 4 years for the Eagles. They won their conference last year. Looking to take it a step further this year. Warren's really good this year. They're playing, I think, Genoa Central in that tournament. They're playing Genoa Central on Friday. And then you got Searcy and Warren. Should be a good matchup. So, there's a ton of teams, like Coach Delaney said, 77. We touched on some of them right there. Marion's coming down to play at UALR on Friday. You got Dardanelle. Then you got Oklahoma Christian. The Saints out of Oklahoma are playing Carlisle, Melbourne. Just spread out all over the place. Should be some really good matchups.
And Coach,
so I talked with Coach. Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
I was going to say I talked with Coach Dillon the other night, and I breathed a big sigh of relief. This is the 4th consecutive year we've played North Little Rock, and we did have to face Jackson Estes last year. We will not have to face him on Thursday this year. So I saluted him and gave him a big thank you for that. Jackson Estes is going to throw Friday night at Maumelle Charter against Morrilton. And I don't know what Coach Lee's going to do. I know that, our conference plays doubleheader conference games on Tuesdays. If he somehow decides to throw Caden Mealer against Jackson Estes on Friday night, that's going to be one of the most premier games in the state. Mealer, as Cabo said, is a UCA commit. We hosted Brooklyn and Morrilton here last Friday night with just a little 3-team deal. Mealer came in to close the game in the 7th inning. His first pitch was 88, his second pitch was 90, and his third fastball was 92.
Pretty impressive.
It is an electric arm. UCA's got a powerful right-handed arm coming in next year. Jackson Estes, when we faced him last year, we registered him anywhere between 87 to 90. He touched 91. He put in some work this fall. One thing that I really wanted to make sure that I said this year is we live in an era where it's a popular thing to transfer. And there was a lot of turnover at North Little Rock last year. And in the midst of all that kid decided to stay. And he put his feet in the ground and he went to work. And I mean, it's impressive what he's doing right now. He was 91 to 94 at the start of the week, threw up 13 Ks and touched 95. He's gotten some SEC offers this week, but he's going to be a kid that the draft is a possibility for, and it's going to be at the high end level. And so I'm just so happy with what Coach Dillon and Estes and Will Jones and a lot of those other guys at North Little Rock have been able to do this year, despite facing some adversity. So that's going to be a big time matchup to kind of keep an eye on. That Thursday night game at Robinson between Conway and Enid, Coach Gore, he sent me a list of some of his guys, and he's got a kid named Israel Gonzalez. He's a Cali College commit, a big right-handed pitcher that's going to sit in the upper 8s, facing off against Conway's lineup, and Cabo can attest to this. Conway may have one of the most ridiculous high school lineups that I've seen in a long, long time. We got to see them the very first game of the year, and they put it on us. They put it on us pretty good. And I walked out of there with 2 pages of notes about what we got to get better at. And then over the last 2 weeks, seeing what they've done to everybody else, you kind of think to yourself, maybe we're not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, you don't feel as bad.
No, I'm telling you, they've got POs at Conway that would hit 3-hole for most Arkansas schools. They are absolutely loaded when it comes to the offensive side. And, some of the guys, Bo Billick, he's a big 6'2", right-handed pitcher. He's committed to Connor State. Thomas Ford, 6'2", 223, right-handed pitcher. He's committed to ASU 3 Rivers. Blake Kordsmeyer, he's an ASU 3 Rivers commit as an outfielder. Jackson Robnett, Seminole State. Malik Simpson, ASU 3 Rivers. Silas Cicero, he's just a junior. He will eventually be committed somewhere. Sean Cover is probably, he's arguably the best right-handed hitter. Yeah, he's arguably the best right-handed hitter in the state. He's a straight utility guy. He's at Southern Miss commit. Owen Davenport, left-handed pitcher, very physical kid, 6'1", 200 pounds, lefty. He's committed to UCA. They've got some other young ones, London Stewart, Wesley Tapp, Willie Voss. The craziest part is they're doing everything that they're doing right now without Max Holland, who is an Arkansas commit as a catcher. He's arguably the best catcher in the state, definitely top 3. They're doing everything they're doing right now with him on the sidelines. They don't even have him right now. And he's expected to be back soon if he's not already. But, you're talking about an embarrassment of riches when it comes to Conway and their lineup. And they're going to face some big-time arms with Enid and Staley. And I believe they face off on Saturday with Ray Peck. And so they're gonna get tested, and it's gonna be fun to see those arms versus that lineup. Benton with Russellville on Thursday. Cabo mentioned Tristan Newberry, very, very talented arm committed to Arkansas. Russ Martin committed to Euler, going up against Benton and what they've got. So, it's very interesting, just some of the matchups that we're going to have. And hopefully we see some of the arms actually get matched up against each other. Again, everybody's got to take into account our conference schedules and pitch counts and what we're going to do. But there's some big time matchups. Let me go through here and look real fast and just kind of highlight some of them. Maumelle Charter, we don't know what the schedule is going to be, but at Maumelle Charter, that very first game, looking at Carlisle, Carlisle's got the Ty Tanksley kid. He's currently the number 1 ranked player in the 2028 class. 6 foot, 180-pound freshman that's already touched 90 miles an hour. He's been recorded with a 2,100 plus spin rate. So he's a super talented kid. The Jonathan Pickard Jr., he's a UA Rich Mountain commit. He's a right-handed pitcher outfielder, has recorded exit velos up to 95 miles an hour. So, that's going to be some big-time talent there. One of the things that I'm also excited about is Gosnell. Gosnell won the 3A state title last year. They get bumped up to 4A, but they're bringing back several players. Connor Whitehead, he's an SAU Tech commit. Chad Stewart Jr., switch hitting catcher. He's an ASU Mountain home commit. They've got a couple of other juniors in Hunter Riggs and Chase Perkins. Stuttgart's going to be playing at Charter. Dagan Duncan, JD Herzog, he's an ASU Mountain home commit. Caden Scaife, just really good talent. I think 2 of the premier programs that we're most excited about is we were able to pull in for the first time Oklahoma Christian. They've got they're loaded. They've got several 25s. They got a lot of 26s and a couple of 27s they're leaning on. But their 25 class is Wyatt Fitzgerald. He's an Oklahoma Baptist commit. Sam Gregory's committed to Oklahoma Christian. Caden Reinecke is another Oklahoma Christian commit. Spencer Schwant is an NOC Enid commit. And Jay Stefanski is a Tabor College offer. And they're going to square off against Oak Grove out of Louisiana. And Oak Grove is another one that's going to bring up a ton of talent. But you're looking at in their senior class, Tanner Duff, 6'2", 250-pound kid, registers exit velos up to 98 miles an hour. Seth Ray, right-handed pitcher, is going to work in the low 80s, but he's a three-pitch mix guy. Jackson Bradley, 6'5", 205, right-handed pitcher. He's going to be a very physical presence on the mound. Brody Stewart, Luke Simmons, again, just great talent. And then, we've already talked about North Little Rock with Jackson Estes and Will Jones. They've also got a sophomore in Aiden George, right-handed pitcher that's already working mid-eights right now. And then a kid named Bryce Higgins in the junior class. That's a very physical kid at 6'2", 185. He's going to pitch and play the infield. And then, as Cabo can attest, you got Woodlawn going off there too. And Woodlawn's going to square off against Oklahoma Christian. You're looking at Tate Hall, ASU Mountain home commit, Mason Edmonds. He's a Three Rivers Malvern. And then they've got a lot of sophomores in Parker Arnold, Hollis Holderfield, and Logan Clark. And then Melbourne is bringing down the Grant Wren kid, who's been an Arkansas commit, 6'5", 225, right-handed pitcher. He's been up in the 90s. And then Morrilton, like we said, with Caden Mealer and Maddox Berry, there's going to be a ton of talent going off at Momel Charter, and how fitting you're talking about, one of the nicer stadiums in our tournament too, 100% turf. My buddy Coach Mitchell out there is in a very fortunate situation with their facilities, and it's going to be a great site and a great place to see some really good baseball. Branching over, Episcopal junior deputy, they went in together this year and they fixed up a field and they put some turf down. We're going to run some teams out there. Cabo mentioned Baptist Prep, and they're off to an undefeated start. And one of the big reasons is Austin Herring. He's a CBC offer, 6'2", 170-pound kid. He's been up to 85. Big right-handed pitcher that's got a lot of talent. And then they've got a sophomore in Aaron Fielder. He's boasting a 6'6", 60 right now. Outfielder for them. He's going to end up being a really, really good player. And then as Coach Nell's bringing Drew Nash down from Gentry. He's a Fort Scott Community College commit, right-handed pitcher that's been mid-upper eights. He's going to work a 4-pitch mix. And so there's going to be some talent going off at Episcopal too. Moving into Benton, Benton's going to be one of our premier sites. They've hosted the state tournament for Arkansas before with their facilities. Phenomenal job. Coach Ballesteri has been very good to allow us to, partner with him over the last few years and really allow us to stack his field with games. They are going to host 18 games for us. So they're going to host 6 games every single day. But his team itself with Brock Maddox, he's an ASU Mountain home commit, Elias Payne, and then obviously the big name that everybody knows out of Benton is Marcus Bates. He's an Arkansas commit. They're going to throw out Will Wright, Sawyer Wilson, and Blake Mitchell. Big 6'4" left-handed pitcher is going to be a 3-pitch mix. A lot of talent going to come from the Benton side. Coach Ballesteri's son, Brooks at Lakeside. They're off to a tremendous start. They've climbed up in the PBR rankings. They're going to rely a lot on Landon Ray, Drew Morgan. They've got a kid named Eric Stidman that's a National Park College commit, Colin Estes, and then Bo Brock is a Texas A&M Texarkana commit. Branching down, Harding Academy. This is another one of our conference teams here at Robinson that's pretty freaking loaded. We got to see them firsthand on Tuesday in a doubleheader. They've got some really, really good underclass talent. They started a kid named Bentley Hawks against us. He's a left-handed pitcher, first baseman, 6'3". He hit 3-hole for them. The game 2, they started a kid named Nate Corbett, a 6'4", 185-pound kid, worked a low 3/4 slot, slung it in the low to mid-eights against us with the 3-pitch mix. And then they had a very impressive leadoff hitter, played outfield and pitched a heck of a game in game 2 in relief, in Cam Pryor. They're going to square off against Nashville. And Nashville's got a lot of talent as well. Carson Chambers, he ended up getting hurt right before the postseason last year, if I'm not mistaken, Cabo.
Yeah, he did.
Which was one of the factors. they kind of ended up, falling a little short. But Carson's a junior pitcher. He's been in the upper eights. Mason Honey, Luke Boone Jr. So there's going to be some good matchups there. Harrison, they've got Garen Crockett, College of the Ozarks. Blaine Walker is at College of the Ozarks as well. And then a kid named Carter Phillips he's currently got an offer from CBC and one from East Texas. And then they've got another junior named Peyton Reese. And then your defending 4A state champs are coming down as well from Prairie Grove. And Coach Mitch Cameron, man, he does such a fantastic job with that program. And, we hated to lose the state championship last year, but I got to tell you, when you lose to a guy like Mitch Cameron, you can't be too upset about it. Very fantastic guy. He's a fellow mule rider like myself. And so, although I was upset my guys didn't win it, I was happy for him. He's bringing back two big players from last year that he's going to rely heavy on, and Bryce Ledgerwood and then Tristan Hall. And Tristan Hall had a absolute day against us in the state championship last year. So not looking forward to having to face off against him again. And then as we said, Olentangy's coming down. They're a team out of Columbus, Ohio. And boy, they are loaded with some talent. Got a kid named Keegan Nupp. He's a big right-handed pitcher. He's going to sit upper 80s, probably touch into the low 9s. He's committed to Eastern Michigan. James Wimsat, he's a big infielder committed to Seton Hall. Jose Lopez is an outfielder committed to Waynesburg. Devin Parker, right-handed pitcher, another kid that's going to sit in that mid to upper 8s. He's a Denison commit. And then they've got some juniors. Reed Hemrick, he's an upper 8s arm. Zach Wright's an upper 8s arm. Zane Konzak, he's an infielder in that junior class. And then Griffin Zavaslak is an outfielder in that 2026 class as well. And they're going to have a ton of talent. They're going to have a ton of arms. They're going to be able to swing it. And they're going to play Benton on Friday morning. And that is actually their opening date. So that will be their very first game of the year. And it will kick off at 9 a.m. in the morning. And then as soon as they finish that game, they're going to jump on the bus and head out to Oxford, Mississippi to play some more games that day and that weekend. So big road trip ahead for them. Their head coach, Tom Marker, some people may know him, some may not. It's been a blast to get to talk to him and just kind of go through his program and some of his kids. He's been on the main stage at the ABCA Coaches Clinic, and he's done a lot of different stuff. He's done podcasts with Jonathan Gellner on Ahead of the Curve and things like that. So it's been really cool to build that relationship with him, and we're very excited to have him come to be a part of the tournament. Moving over to Pulaski Academy. Well, I got to tell you, Pulaski Academy is another one of those teams in the 5-4A between Robinson, Harding Academy, Morrilton, and PA. I mean, it's just a ridiculous gauntlet of a conference. PA is going to look like a college team when they step on the field. It seems like every single one of their kids is 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Some of their big highlighted kids, Williams Faboda, he's a big UCA commit, right-handed pitcher. He's going to sit in the upper 8, 6'4", 205. I think he's even got offers to play tight end in college, doesn't he, Cabo?
Yeah, he could play a flex Y. I mean, he very athletic kid.
Yeah.
It's Faboda family, of course, well known at Catholic or Pulaski Academy.
Yeah.
But Ace DeWeese, dude, they're just loaded.
Yeah, Ace DeWeese, left-handed pitcher, is going to sit low to mid-8s with a 4-pitch mix. We played them last year, and we got ready to play a JV game, and I had to take a double take. They ran some freshman out to catch, and I thought, who the heck is that? I mean, you're talking about a 6'4", 190-pound freshman catcher that they had last year. Well, Luke Edwards is a sophomore for him now, but he's 6'4", 215, going to play a lot of corner infield for him, but he hits left-handed. As a sophomore right now, he's already been up to 100 miles an hour exit velo. He's going to be a big-time prospect for him. But, I mean, you're talking about Max Conine, Major Jackson, Chase Kimball. I mean, we could go on and on about PA and the talent that they're going to roll out on the field, and they're going to give a lot of people fits in 4A this year. They've already, given a lot of upper class teams some fits. I think they squeaked out a win against Sylvan Hills, which obviously is a very talented 5A team. So PA is going to be a good one to follow and watch as well. And then we were very fortunate. We hooked up with Euler this year. They're going to be on the road during spring break. And so we were fortunate enough to be able to use their great facility. And we're going to run a bunch of games out there. I think we're running 17 games out at Euler's Field this weekend. One of the highlights out at Euler is Magnolia. Zach Muldoon, another SAU guy, took over the helm at Magnolia, and he's going to have a lot of talent. Brandon Sanchez is a National Park offer, senior middle infielder. He's got another senior named DJ Marshall that plays first base for him, and then a big-time prospect in Walker Carter as an outfielder. So that's going to be one of the highlights out there. And then moving over to Little Rock Christian, and obviously Brandon Eller does a fantastic job there. He's got two seniors, Cole Davis, he's a Lyon College commit, and Carson Dunn is committed to a college at St. Scholastica. Now he's going to be really young. He's got a ton of young talent, but those are the only two guys that have committed so far. Marion and Van Buren are both going to be playing out there, and obviously Marion's got Cohen Bumbaugh, big right-handed pitcher, UCA commit, and then Van Buren's bringing down Ethan Bowen. He's a Labette Community College commit. Weston Wilcox, he's a junior. He's not committed, but he does have multiple offers right now. Right-handed pitcher that's going to run it in the upper eights. Ian Rowe and Hudson Stewart, and those are going to be some of the big names that pop up out there. And then obviously I hate to do it this way, but I mean, it is the Robinson Invitational, so I saved a lot of the talent for Robinson. I'm going to be sitting around and, like you said, watching.
I was going to say, not good.
I'm going to be watching baseball from 9 a.m. until midnight. So, yep, I put as much talent out at Robinson as I possibly could. We do have some kids that we're very high on here at Robinson. We've got we only have one senior, so we're very excited about where we are in our program and what the future holds. Our senior Victor Bullock, he's a catcher for us. He's committed to SAU Tech. And then when you get into our junior class, Logan Eichler, 6'4" kid, right-handed pitcher. He's working in the upper eights right now. He has touched 90. He's working a 3-pitch mix. Bowman Stein, he's been offered by Youngstown State. He's probably going to get a lot more. We went down and played CrossFit on Friday night, and there was a 30-mile-an-hour wind blowing dead in from center field, and he still juiced one out of the ballpark. Big-time left-handed hitter that's got a lot of pop. He's been up to 106 miles an hour exit velo. And then arguably one of our best, if not the best athlete on our team is our shortstop, Nathan Johnston. He started for me since he was a freshman, hits leadoff. We actually even are running him up on the bump this year. He's slinging it 78, 80 miles an hour from a submarine slot.
Coach Delaney may have froze up right there. I'll be honest with you. I thought Nathan Johnson was like a 6th-year senior for them. Like you said, he's been starting for 3 years for him. So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
We lost you for a minute.
Blake
I was telling Steve, I thought Nathan Johnson was like a 6th-year senior for you because he's been out there for the last 3 years. He's played so much baseball for you. I was like, he's on the scholarship program there.
He challenged the school record for most wins in a season his freshman year, and he hit leadoff and started shortstop. I mean, You're talking about one of the better teams Robinson's had in the last 12 years, and he started for us as a shortstop. And it's like I said, he's just one of those kids. He has the chance to play college baseball. Some people are overlooking him right now because he's not the biggest in stature, but man, he ran a 6.6 60 last year and stole 34 or 35 bases. And, he had what we considered to be an off year, and he still hit 365 and led our offense in 7 categories. So, we're very high on Nathan, and we're going to do everything we can to find him somewhere to play one day. But Lake Hamilton, Blake Cribb, outfielder, ASU Mountain Home commit. Blaine Cribb, ASU Mountain home commit. He's a right-handed pitcher. Cameron Hale, Caleb Rouse is a South Arc commit. And then they've got Landon West, Corey Autry, Brody Fontaine, and Elijah Stack. Matt Wiggin is their head coach. He was my old college roommate. He does a phenomenal job with those guys. As Cabo said, they were semifinalists last year, and he was coach of the year. Just did a fantastic job, and already they're off to a great start this year. And then looking at Catholic. Catholic's going to come back out again this year. Caleb Short, big right-handed pitcher, sits in the mid-eights at 6'4". Louisiana Tech commit. Jake Fewers, left-handed pitcher at 6'3". That's an SAU Tech commit. Mason Chambers, Ethan Young, Bauer Day, Jacob Burnett, Cannon Burks, Ty Gibbons. There's just a lot of talent coming out of Little Rock Catholic. And moving down into everybody knows about Valley View, right? I mean, last year, arguably one of the best high school teams Arkansas has seen. Graduated a ton. Obviously, Slade Codwell was a first-round draft pick. But Josh Allison, who's a very good friend of mine, had to twist his arm a whole lot to get him to send me his players. And when he finally sent them to me, I realized why. It's because it took him 4 days to put all these names together. Jade Taylor, nobody even knew who he was last year, and he ended up, I think, leading them in home runs. He gets his first start ever on the mound, and I think he sat 90-91, beat Little Rock Christian. Drew Gartman is an Arkansas State commit. Keithan Mathis, he was an Arkansas commit as a catcher, but I believe he has decommitted. Levi Martin, Owen Roach, one of my favorite hitters. I tell people all the time, a kid could take a full swing in a phone booth, man. It is a short, compact swing, and he can hit velo like crazy. Madden Tatum is a Jacksonville State commit on the bump. Noah Ragsdale, Parker King. He's actually been put up on the bump now, and he's sitting mid-eights on the bump. He was a Memphis commit, but I'm pretty sure he is decommitted from there. Will Finley.
Football now.
Yeah. Well, Will Finley, he's a sophomore. He pitched against us. We were expecting to go up there and see a short kid, working in the upper sevens. And, boy, he grew 3 inches over the past 9 months and was sitting in the low to mid-eights against us. Keaton Rogers and Leighton Holt, just a ton of talent coming out of Valley View. And then we will have Kickapoo on site, big team out of Missouri. He's got a kid named Colin Muldoon from Missouri Southern State commit, Joey Cloninger, Drury commit, and Aiden Wallace is a Kenyon College commit. And so, again, there's going to be a lot of college baseball players out at Robinson. And then, obviously, this is Steve's favorite team, Ray Peck. Got his favorite player in the whole thing. Diesel Purnell is back. I believe your son is named Diesel.
That's right. He was amazed when he met Diesel last year. Yeah. He didn't know there was anything but a truck.
Well, he is he's another one. He reminds me a lot of Nathan Johnson, my shortstop. We saw him last year, and he came in with a lot of hype. He's a Hutchinson Community College commit, and he's a switch hitter, plays middle infield. I think he started for him for all 4 years. He wasn't a big guy, but we watched him play Valley View. We watched him play Catholic and Benton, and man, the dude can just flat out play. He can hit, he can pick it. Big time player coming out of Ray Peck, Missouri. They've got another kid named Maddox Steele. He's a Highland Community College commit. Keaton Scribner is a Highland Community College commit. They've got a junior catcher named Clint Olson that's going to end up playing some major college baseball. Caden Jenkins, Jaden Meisenheimer,
The PCSSD internet strikes again.
Yeah, they got Johnny Carver, too, who's committed to the Razorbacks for the 2026 class, left-handed pitcher. I got to see him last year. Meisenheimer, yeah.
Meisenheimer. I think you had it right. You froze up on him.
Snyder. And then, obviously, the name that everybody knows from Ray Peck is Johnny Carver. Valley View's lineup and some of their arms going against Johnny Carver. That's going to be real fun to watch. And then Staley, Missouri, DeAndre Josenberger, he's the head coach. If that name sounds familiar, his son Tavian Josenberger was the Hogs center fielder a few years ago. He's bringing his squad down from Staley, and man, they are absolutely loaded. Just another one of those programs with an embarrassment of riches. Brody Earlbeck is the kid I mentioned earlier, left-handed pitcher outfield. He's been sitting 89, 91. Iowa commit, fastball, curveball. He's got a change. He throws a cutter. Like I said, he's on some pro scouts radars. So there's going to be some people that are following him and a lot of people that know who he is. Evan Abbott, Emporia State commit, left-handed hitter, has recorded exit velos up to 105 miles an hour, ran a 6.5 360, just a tremendous athlete. Jake Thomas, big right-handed pitcher, 87 to 90 miles an hour. He's a Butler commit. Kyle Percy is a right-handed pitcher. He's been anywhere between 90 to 94 with a 4-pitch mix. He's a senior. He's not committed anywhere, but he does have multiple D1 offers. And then they have a kid named Easton Felipe that's a Wichita State commit. He's a catcher. He's recorded a throwdown velo of 83, which Cabo can attest from a catcher. That's a pretty cannon right there. Yep. Recording pop times of, his pop times are 182 to 19. He's a left-handed hitting catcher, throws right, exit velos of 100 miles an hour, and he's running a sub 760. So a very athletic kid coming from behind the dish there. And we look forward to being able to get eyes on him. And that's kind of, the big talent that we've got. We don't have a lot of information on Shiloh Christian, but they will be in the ballpark. Obviously, Alan Gum taking over that program and looking to see what he does with them. And that's just kind of a quick rundown. We're going to have Bryant in the ballpark. Bryant's going to play nothing but out-of-state teams on Friday and Saturday in our ballpark, and we're looking forward to them. Obviously, they've got Ridge. He's going to be a big right-handed pitcher. Where is he committed to, Cabo?
OU.
Mm-hmm.
OU. So yeah, there's going to be a ton of talent out at Robinson's Field, but not just at Robinson, but all across. And so I know that was a lot to go through. But I mean, I wanted to make sure that we really hit on some of these guys. A couple of teams that I missed, Cedar Ridge. He's got a couple kids named Aiden Jones and Kyle Province that are going to be some really good prospects for people.
Ashdown.
Downsville Charters. I'm sorry.
Ashdown.
I don't know much about Ashdown. I didn't receive anything from them. I'll let you kind of touch on them if you know some of their guys.
Well, Walt at shortstop's committed to the Razorbacks right now. Their senior class 2 years ago.
I didn't realize Walt. I thought Walt graduated last year.
Yeah. He's just a senior now. So those guys that 2 years ago they played in the state finals. Those guys are all seniors now. So dropping down to Class 3A has really been huge for them.
Yeah. Well, we're bringing another team from Louisiana up, Downsville Charter. He turned in a kid's name named Justin Fisher. We didn't touch on Wynn. They've got one of the best right-handed arms in 4A in Gray Westbrook. He's a Three Rivers commit, upper eights. He's touched 9. They've also got a kid named Cole Johnson, left-handed pitcher outfield. That's the University of the Ozarks commit. Kendall Reed, Evan McConnell, Maddox Wingo. Quitman's got a couple of kids in Cooper Holmes and Joel Atwood. Perryville's coming up with Connor Frith, Tyler Hester, David Gill. Newport's bringing down a big right-handed pitcher named Ethan Norris. Bryant's also got a kid named Eli Berry. That's an SAU commit. Batesville Southside with Cam Foree, Seminole State. Jaden Passmore has multiple offers. DeWitt is bringing down Wyatt Jones, who's a UA Rich Mountain commit. Griffin Whitmore is a Rich Mountain commit. Rosebud has got a kid named Jay Bell, Kalen English, and Ethan Hensley. So I wanted to make sure that these people that sent their players, that we made sure we got them on the radar too. Pangburn is bringing down Cade Rowland. They're going to play on Saturday in the tournament. Cade is a Connor State commit, and Xander Kane is an SAU Tech commit. There's going to be a lot of talent coming out of Pangburn in that 3A squad. And then Jacksonville with Jarvis McCray, Javier Rodriguez, Timothy Terry, Messi Linden, and Trenton Dunbar. And if I am not mistaken, I think that rounds out every team that has sent us information on their players. And we thank the coaches for sharing all of their info with us and allowing us to really highlight their teams and their players. And we hope they have a really great time. And like we said, we hope that they perform well and some colleges and some pro scouts get to see them.
We appreciate you guys, or Coach, putting this together. And, obviously this is the state of Arkansas has got a ton of baseball talent. We talk a lot. You see what Dave Van Horn does, and then all the other colleges across the state seem to have a lot of great success. You see what Little Rock's doing right now. And it's just a testament to guys like you at the high school level and the coaching that's going on around the state, and just how talented a lot of the players are. And as a state, obviously, most people follow the University of Arkansas. And I think one of the neat things last year was not just having Arkansas kids committed to Arkansas, but you see like Ray Peck and others that have Arkansas kids. And so if you're somebody that just is looking to come out and see the future of the college game, these 8 sites are going to have a lot of that. And I think that's the cool part is, there was multiple times last year we're calling games and it's, this guy's committed to Arkansas, and then the pitcher on the other side's committed to Arkansas or Oklahoma or whoever. You got Slade Caldwell hitting balls into the trees back there behind the stadium. So it's just a really neat experience for everybody. If we had a little more time, I'd have you go through and give us a matchup from each place, but we won't do that. We'll be here all day. But I think it's going to be great. Also, I got to say, as an honorary member of the Catholic fan base now, based on our Monmouth Catholic matchups, I'm glad you were able to get them back, and you were able to talk about them as well. But man, I'm looking forward to it. I know that we're gonna do our best to make sure we can get as much streaming up as we can across all the fields. There's some challenges we'll have there, but we know we'll have everything at Robinson. And so from morning till we get done, I know Will's probably over there losing his mind producing this, knowing what we got coming. But the cool thing about that is Will's going to get to break out the new software at least a day or two of that, if not all 3 days. And so that's going to give us just another opportunity to really highlight all of these guys that are out there playing, but be able to put out a lot of stuff on them. And so we're really looking forward to that part of it. Should have some great coverage of it. Robinson, all the games at Robinson will be streamed for sure. And then we're going to figure out how many we can get at the other fields as well. But we're excited. One other piece to that is, I know you've got some sponsorship connections there, some folks that have committed some things. If you guys are looking, we've got several broadcast options. So if you guys are looking to be able to support any of the broadcast or any of that, or have a sponsorship with the broadcast, you can reach out to me, Steve Henson, at 501-960-2255. And I'm sure you can reach out to Coach Delaney as well out at Robinson. And so, but man, we're looking forward to it. And I appreciate you letting us be a part of it again this year. And I think we hope that I know your players do, because I heard them last year a few times kind of complaining about those 9 a.m. starts and how cold it was. So I have a feeling. And then that last night, we were all freezing by Saturday night. So hopefully the weather's great. I was kind of looking at the extended, and it looks like it should be nice all 3 days.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a sneaky cold front come through on us at the tail end of it last year, but like I said, we're a week later this year. The forecast right now does look favorable. We're crossing our fingers, hoping it stays. There's no way to reschedule 126 games in 3 days. So we're really hoping for good weather. Looks like it's supposed to be in the upper 70s with a lot of sunshine. And I know that that's going to be a big deal because we're bringing in a lot of these teams that are used to going to Arizona and Florida. So hopefully we give them good weather so they come back and don't leave us for better weather in the future. But, we want to say how much we appreciate you guys. Cabo works on it all year long, and then having you be able to come in and really help us with this tournament. the more we can broadcast it, the more it allows us to grow and to get the information out there. And, we just don't have the outlets that you guys have. So y'all coming on board and helping us really promote this thing has really been one of the reasons we've been able to grow it and hopefully continue to grow it even a little bit more. And we really appreciate it. I still have people that tell me that they got bored and they went back and watched the replay of Ray Peck and Valley View last year, and just to have a little entertainment. So, it's really cool to have that documented, and for these kids coming to be able to go back on YouTube and watch replays of those games and relive those experiences. It's a very cool deal, and we appreciate you guys so much for doing it.
Yes, sir. Cabo, you got anything else for us?
Oh, I'm excited. Spring break is usually about the time to where teams really start separating themselves from everybody else. You've already had some conference matchups. Like Coach Delaney said, they've already played Harding Academy in a doubleheader. They played Clinton this week on Tuesday. So you really start to see those teams that are getting comfortable. They're starting to have a little bit more chemistry. They're starting to gel. And, players – I always looked forward to spring break as a player, because that's when it really started to get into the grind of the high school baseball season, because it's so short. It's 10 weeks. It's a sprint. So having it at the end of March this year, it should be great weather. I'm really looking forward to it once again.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we appreciate it. And we're looking forward to being out next Thursday morning. You guys make sure you join us. We want to get you out there to see as much of the town as possible. All games at Robinson will be streamed on the Robinson Sports Network. And so you guys make sure that you head over, if you're here on the Natural State Sports YouTube channel, that you just subscribe to all of our channels, because the other networks will have the other streams as well that we're able to put up. So that we're fortunate to have multiple places we can put them. And so just logistically working all the rest of that out. But fellas, we appreciate it. And we're looking forward to year 8.
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.